Do us a countdown timer.
All right.
All right. Good Wednesday evening, everyone. The Irish Hammer here with you alongside Joshyboy for our weekly Wednesday segment. Josh, it's always great to be here with you. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm great.
So we pushed back a little bit tonight, but we still wouldn't have caught this Jacksonville State Delaware game at normal start time anyway. But I liked Jack State plus the 3.5. I know it bumped to 2.5. I grabbed it 3.5. I also included it in some teaser plays that that got me plus 13 and an under of 67.5. Another one at under 70.5, and a parlay with the Blues and the Mammoth in the NHL tonight at plus 3.5. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far in this game. Jacksonville State has gotten a pretty good jump, up 21-6 right now with a little over a minute and a half to go. They have the ball near midfield. They could add some points to that. So it's the only Gamecocks you'll ever catch me pulling for, brother, right there. Because they switched quarterbacks, I think, last week. Caden Creel, who's actually a converted, kind of like a Lynn Bowden from Kentucky several years ago. He was a former wide receiver and punt returner. And this dude is electric, man. He is a lot of fun to watch. Delaware's had a much more difficult strength of schedule than Jack State. All their numbers are kind of equal, but I don't know, man. I just like this kid. The game's at home, standalone game for them, an opportunity to kind of showcase. And Caden Creel, I think he's a difference maker. So I went big in on Jack State tonight, much like I went big last night on Western Kentucky. Now, I don't know what happened in Bowling Green last night. I know that I watched this FIU defense give up 60 points, Josh, 60 points to Florida Atlantic last week. And you're telling me that the best that Western Kentucky could do at home with Maverick MacGyver is 6 freaking points in the first half?
Yeah, Hammer, I was really surprised when I saw on the score app Western Kentucky only scored 6 points last night against FIU.
And I guess they, the offense decided, hey, well, we put our work in the first half. We're done, because they didn't score nothing the rest of the game. I had these jokers on first half spread. I had these jokers on first half money line. I had these jokers on over team total of 28.5. I had them winning the game by double digits. I had them on an exacta, 3 different exacta score bets. And then I had them in multiple parlay teaser plays. So all in all, Old Hammer went down about 3 bills last night on this game. I ain't happy, Josh, considering sending him a bill.
It's get back time this week.
That's right. And it starts tonight with these Jacksonville State Gamecocks. It's not a couple hours away from me, actually, maybe 3 hours away from where I am. So, like I said before, it's the only Gamecock you'll ever catch me cheering for. So hopefully that holds up. I feel like it will. Delaware, not a team known to blow people out even when they are in command of a game. So I feel like that one's looking really good, and hopefully they punch on something else. Still got a minute to go, and there's the Delaware 30. So hopefully at least a field goal, get some points, and extend that lead. All right. Well, enough about my poor mouthing and crying over that milk wasn't spilt, dude. That milk was blown up with a bazooka. I feel bad. I even talked Luce into getting on board a couple of those with me. So I feel like I need to send him like a Starbucks gift card or Jelly of the Month Club subscription, something. That was horrible, man. I've had my butt handed to me plenty of times. Don't get me wrong, but last night was just like it was a kick in the balls, and then it was jump up and down on them and mail them back to me. Not even first class, like third rate postage. It was just a horrible night. So, but that happens, right? That's why it's gambling.
Yeah, it does. Gambling.
It's always a risk. So, all right. So anyway, enough of my belly aching. Josh, we've got another full week of football. What are you looking at for? Well, really anything. I'm going to do tonight a little bit differently. I'm going to talk about some games that I like, that I have some leans. But we kind of struggled last week, maybe generous with a lot of our straight plays. But I went on an absolute tear on parlays and teasers. And I tried to post as many of those as I could with what Twitter's capabilities are without posting like 15. I hit 9 parlays and teasers last week, and a lot of people like, hey, where was that? Well, I didn't give it out, and I know we've talked about it a little bit. I've talked about it with Luce, so I think I'm gonna angle that more tonight, and we'll see how that goes, because a lot of the stuff we give out, we play strictly as a straight bet.
Yes.
Obviously, anything can be used as a parlay piece, but anybody that's been doing this for a long time knows it's, we always say, man, it's a crazy season. Well, it's always a crazy season. There's always stuff that happens. So, UCLA beating Penn State and
for sure
some other crazy stuff. So I'm going to give out
Penn
some
State
more teaser type plays this week.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Penn State losing the Northwestern this week too. This past week.
Yeah, I've got something for that game this week too. The Northwestern Purdue game. So we'll be sure to touch on that a little bit. But yeah, like there's who to thunk it, right? So anything can happen any given Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Right.
As it is from now until Thanksgiving, thank goodness. So I'm just going to take a little different approach to tonight. You are more than welcome to do whatever you want to do and give out whatever you want to give out. But we're going to take a little different path on this side tonight. So let's let you start with pretty much anything you want to do. We do have, of course, the UTEP, Sam Houston game has started as well. It's at the half. UTEP is up 14-10. This is a total trash can, set it on fire and float it down the river kind of game for me. I wanted nothing to do with this game. No. Sam Houston State is on my banned list because they have burned me time and time again. I can't get on the right side of this team to save my life, so I left it alone. Probably won't be involved with them in any way, shape, or form for the rest of the season. That team was fantastic on defense last year, had a really good record. And then this year they come in and they couldn't stick their finger up their nose with a map and a mirror. So I'm done with Sam Houston State. We do have one game on the slate tomorrow. That is Tulsa at East Carolina. Do you have anything on that play?
Yes. All right. I do have a play in this game, but it's not full game. It is first quarter. My official play in this game is East Carolina first quarter -6.5. So both teams have kind of been up and down this season. Tulsa from beating Oklahoma State, winning up there in Stillwater this season, and getting blown out by Navy in Memphis this season. They kind of been up and down. Same thing with East Carolina losing to BYU and almost beating Tulane. But I feel like East Carolina is the better team in this game, and I lean or official play minus 6.5 first quarter. So I didn't want to take that game 16.5 spread, so I went first quarter.
Yeah, it is a pretty healthy line, all the way up now to 16.5. It was 14.5 the first time I saw it. Excuse me, which I would consider playing 13.5, buying a point. But now that it's gone all the way up to 16.5,
yeah,
I feel like where I'm playing this game is a good spot, and much to correlate what you just said with East Carolina minus 6.5 the first quarter. I like the under 54.5 in this game, because ECU's defense is, man, let's just be honest, it's pretty dang good. They are 16th in defensive success rate. They are 5th in the country in red zone defense, and they are 25th in the country on third and fourth down conversion allowed. So, I mean, this isn't just a good defense in conference. This is a good defense nationally. And Tulsa started out, I picked them against Kentucky outright and to cover. Well, they did cover barely, but they weren't able to get the win against the Wildcats. Then they pull off the upset against Oklahoma State, and people kind of got on board that, hey, man, this Tulsa team could be pretty good. Well, their offense is plus 110 or worse out of 136 FBS teams in pretty much every offensive category. They have had double-digit spreads the last 2 games and have failed to cover either. This team can't score. This ECU defense just does not give up a lot of points. Nothing's easy with them. They're very stingy. So I think what's going to happen supports exactly what you just said. I think East Carolina is going to jump out probably to a 1 or 2 score lead, even if it's just 10 points, a touchdown and a field goal. And I think they could easily be up 2 scores or better in the first half. And then I think ECU just kind of puts it in cruise control for the rest of the way. They just run the ball, eat clock. So playing under 54.5 straight, but I am also including ECU in teasers at -4, ECU in a teaser at -7, and then I'm throwing a little long shot dart on Tulsa to cover 24 in another teaser, because I think East Carolina gets up big. I think they kind of go into play not to let the other team score a whole bunch on us mode. Maybe Tulsa gets a backdoor cover. Quarter unit on that teaser. Not super confident in it, but kind of, I guess, maybe a little bit of a hedge on a backdoor cover should something go wrong for ECU. But, yeah, this game just screams under, and it screams ECU big. So I like your play and don't see Tulsa being able to put a lot of points up against this stingy East Carolina defense at home.
Yeah.
All right. What else you looking at for this week? Friday's got a pretty good slate. Yeah. If there's anything there you want to talk about.
It is pretty good. I do have a lean for the Friday slate. First game, okay. Louisville at Miami. I'm leaning towards playing Louisville plus the points, 13.5. I just feel like too many points. And I feel like Miami only wins by about 7 or 10. And both teams coming off a bye. Louisville coming off that heartbreaking overtime loss to Virginia, and I feel like they get a little nice bounce back spot against Miami.
All right. Well, you and I are singing out of the same song book on this one, my friend. I have the exact same play. I have Louisville plus 13.5. Don't look now, but these are two pretty solid defenses that are going to be locking horns. And while this will certainly be the toughest defense that Louisville has faced this year, funny thing about Jeff Brom, he is a much better road underdog than he is a home favorite, as we saw last week against Virginia. So I think, like you, Louisville got a little embarrassed. They got a little shown up on their home field as a favorite. And I think they can muddy this up enough to keep this under 2 touchdowns. So I am playing Louisville plus 13.5 on a straight bet. I am also including Louisville on a 7-point teaser at plus 20.5. I really don't think that Miami can beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These are 2 very good defenses. So the under's kind of in play. I liked it at 53.5. Last I checked it was all the way down to 51. It is now 50.5. So that under keeps dropping. So if you're looking for like a bonus leg on a 6 or 7 point teaser, I like I do 3-leg 10-point teasers. I do 4-leg 13-point teasers. You can probably buy that up and still get a really good number that's going to be well above the original line of 53, or 52.5, whatever it was. But yeah, that total is steadily dropping. It's being bet down. So looks like Vegas and the sharp bettors are looking at this the same way that you and I are. It's two defensive teams that are going to be in a rock fight, and I think that spells cover for Louisville. So, all right. Anything else on Friday that you like?
No, I don't have anything else for Friday.
Yeah, I don't either. It would be so easy to bet Cal over North Carolina with that A, cross-country trip, B, I don't know if Belichick's got any, residual daycare out there, or if he's going to have to bring actually Jordan out on the field with him again. But, I think Cal probably covers that number. Before it's over, I may pull that down and bet it somewhere in the -2.5, -3.5 range. But I don't know. Everything else is just kind of ugly to me. And Utah State, San Jose State, not interested. So, all right. Well, that'll bring us to Saturday and the big boy games. What are you looking at for Saturday?
Got 2 leans and 1 official play for the noon window. So, going to go with my first official play. So, Georgia Tech traveling to Duke. And this is a really big game for both teams because whoever wins this game probably goes to the ACC championship because both of their remaining schedules are very favorable in the ACC. And Brent Key, as an underdog for Georgia Tech, he's been money, but as a favorite, he has been complete crap. Well, not complete crap, but kind of even record as a favorite, but not going to play it side in this game. I like a total. I like the over 61.5. I think Vegas has this number up high because they think it's going to be a shootout. And I feel like both offenses are going to score about mid to high 30s. So give me over 61.5. Georgia Tech and Duke.
Yeah, that is my lean in this game as well, is the over. It was 60.5 at first look, so it's ticked up a point. I also, because I think this is just an egregious – I think the wrong team's favored. Okay, I think Georgia Tech can win this game outright. I think Haynes King poses a problem for Duke, and Duke has had issues stopping the run. So I did pull this into a teaser play, and when I got it, the number was 3.5. I jumped on that early in the week to Georgia Tech plus 3.5. So my number on Georgia Tech in a teaser is plus 16. So that is, I think, if there's a slam dunk that I've put in play this week, it is that. I will be, I don't know about eat my hat live on a stream confident, but pretty close that Georgia Tech will not lose that football game by 16 points.
Right.
I really, at 3.5, I jumped on it. So it's already down to a 1.5. It may even get to a pick 'em by Saturday morning. So but I definitely lean over this game. I think we'll see a lot of points, and hopefully a Georgia Tech outright win.
I hope so, because I have them at 13-1 to win the ACC championship game.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. Now, excuse me, and I thought that was a solid bet. We didn't really know what the Carson Beck experience was going to look like in Miami. It's turned out it's actually working out really well. And then Luce and I both were leaning Clemson as the ACC champ, and you can see where that's taken a hard left off a cliff because they're terrible. I don't know that they're terrible. They've played terrible. But I think the biggest threat to Miami is Georgia Tech, even over Florida State. I think Georgia Tech's the biggest threat in the ACC behind Miami. So that was a good early season future you put in there. I do have a game on Saturday that I really like, and I'm not sure I understand what the books are thinking on this. I've got UConn money line against Boston College. I'm struggling to understand why Boston College would be favored in this game with the struggles that they've had, number one. Number two, Jim Mora's got UConn clicking offensively. But three, these campuses are only about 75 miles apart. And UConn, I mean, we don't think of these two as big rivals. I mean, they're not in the same conference. In fact, UConn's an independent in football. Boston College now in the ACC, and have been for years, but you know what I'm saying. So you don't think of these schools as rival, but they're really close. I mean, these schools are closer than Tennessee and Vanderbilt are. So don't think that UConn doesn't look at BC as, we're in their shadow. We never get the attention they get, which, I mean, let's be honest, outside of lacrosse and whatever else they play up there, they're not a prominent program. But when you're little bitty school there in Storrs, Connecticut, with a little bitty football program and this great big Jesuit university just down the road, you want to beat those guys. So I love UConn, just straight up money line. This game, I think, opened at 2.5 or 3.5. It's now down to 1.5. And I took them also in a teaser at plus 7.5. So on a teaser play, a 6-point teaser, you can get UConn better than a touchdown underdog, which is phenomenal in this game. So give me UConn on the money line. Give me UConn in a teaser plus 7.5. I just don't understand why Boston College was ever favored in this game. That's another line I'd be real curious to see, Josh, what it closes at come Saturday morning.
Yeah, I agree with that. So is this game being played at UConn or at BC?
It's at BC.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe, and hey,
I
I
don't
was
know
dead
either.
ass wrong on Western Kentucky last night. So anything can happen. We know that. It's just this is everything points for me. Everything points to UConn. Really coming in there, being focused, and just flat slap wanting to beat these guys. So I'm on the Huskies.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for us this week?
All right, next play we are going. This is a lean, but we're going to Nashville, Tennessee. LSU taking on Vanderbilt. Vandy coming off the bye after that loss at Alabama, and LSU coming off a close win against South Carolina. I feel like the right team is favored in this game, and I know as much as you hate him, that Diego Poverty chick, I'm going to be on the Vanderbilt Commodores in this game. Money line, minus 130 against LSU. I feel like LSU's offense sucks. Their defense is solid, but I feel like Vandy finds a way to win this game, even though they're favored. Should be a really good game, but give me Diego Pavia and Vandy money line.
Yeah. I couldn't bring myself to do it, but I think that's the right play. I did include the under in a teaser at 55, which I don't usually like solid numbers on teasers because usually, depending on how your book handles teasers, sometimes ties are losses. Sometimes ties are pushes, and they just step it down, take that game out. In my case, it was a push teaser, so I went ahead and took it. I do think both defenses are probably going to show up, and there's going to be some head knocking in this one. Excuse me. I am not sold at all on anything LSU offensively. Vandy getting them at home, I said at the beginning of the season, I felt like that was going to be a loss for Vanderbilt. Well, I've changed my mind on that. I think Vanderbilt gets it done, and I think it may be a little lower scoring game. So playing it safe, putting that in a teaser. It's LSU and Vandy under 55, and that's on a 6-point teaser. I was trying to find, there it is, 48.5 now, and 2.5 for Vanderbilt. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that money line at all, paying 20 cents there. Vanderbilt wins by a field goal. They cover. But yeah, I think points will come at a premium. I think both defenses are going to be pretty stingy, and it's going to come down to who can control the line of scrimmage. And probably as it used to in the good old days in the SEC, is whoever ran the ball better. But that may not necessarily be the case. But I'm with you. I do like I like the West End weirdos in that one. Terrible. So you got Peabody money line, right?
Yes.
Okay, make sure I got you down for the right one. And you had Duke, and I forgot to write it down. You had Duke and Georgia Tech over
61.5. Yeah.
All right. My next one, we're going to go to Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes are taking on the now James Franklin-less Penn State Nittany Lions. Josh, we'll pause for a second, because I do like to incorporate just general, sports and ball talk and all as well. What are your thoughts on A, the timing, and B, the decision to part ways with Mr. Franklin?
It's a really good time to do it, because Penn State, if you look at their schedule after losing Drew Aller, they could really lose 6 straight games at Iowa this week, then bye week, then at Ohio State, then Indiana. But I feel like it was the right time that they didn't wait till the season was over. They did it now, got it out of the way, and good on them for looking for candidates right now.
Well, they definitely got ahead of the coaching carousel with their decision. And if that was going to be the decision, then might as well go ahead and chalk it up. But here's what I think is probably happened. And you alluded to this and just about hit the nail on the head of what I was about to say is the problem with letting him go this point in the season, you have a risk of losing the team's interest in trying. Because we all know with NIL, transfer portal, all that good stuff that is the landscape of college football now, that everyone expects mass exodus, right, out of there. And I really don't believe that Penn State made this move without having some type of plan in place. Like, I don't think they just all got together over breakfast and, cocktails and mimosas and crab legs and all that stuff and just up and decided, hey, well, let's just can Franklin. Now, they've got a plan. They at least know who they want to target. And I have a hard time believing that they just did this on a whim. So I think they already at least know who they want to pursue, possibly somebody that's not currently in coaching that would love to come back and coach. Not going to mention any names. But with all that said, Penn State lost Drew Aller in that game last week. They have a new coach. By all accounts, the players liked Franklin. Wasn't any locker room issues, not any trouble, off the field for the most part with these kids. So I think the majority of these guys have already decided probably going to transfer at the end of this season because we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that they put forth the effort. I think they're going to throw the towel in, kind of just quit on the season. And to your point, their remaining schedule is brutal. And there's been a lot better teams than Penn State that has gone into Iowa City and got their ass whipped. So I'm taking Iowa on the money line against Penn State. They probably can win this game by multiple scores, as we saw the shellacking they put on Wisconsin. And quite frankly, man, without Aller, and I'm not a big Aller fan, I said at the beginning of the year, I think the dude's a bust. If he was the top-rated quarterback coming out of college into the NFL draft, and it's going to be a sorry-ass quarterback draft. We're going to have 2 in a row. But at least he's experienced. He's their best option. So I don't know. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is, and it doesn't matter who their backup quarterback is. Ass whooping in Iowa City. Iowa money line. I also pulled them in on a teaser at +4 because there ain't no way in hell Penn State can beat Iowa in Iowa City by more than a field goal with Drew Aller. Give me the Hawkeyes.
You were saying who their backup quarterback was. Their backup quarterback is Ethan Grunkmeyer.
Sure. Big fan. No offense, Ethan.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter. Not against that defense. So you got brand new quarterback. Whoever is taking over as interim doesn't matter. You took away a likable coach for kids that came there for him, were recruited by him, that are already talking to whoever they need to talk to about getting out of Dodge at the end of the season, which will come quicker than later. Because even if this team does somehow manage to pull a bowl game out of its ass, these kids aren't going to play in it. I think they're done, man. I just think they're done, and
I do too.
Little hope for Penn State to finish this year out with a winning record. So, anyway, beat that horse enough. Let's move on. What else you got, Joshy?
I got one more lean for the noon games Saturday. So I very rarely take unders, but I really like this under in this game. This is the big noon kickoff game. Washington traveling to the big house, taking on Michigan. Michigan coming off that loss against USC, and Washington coming off that win against Rutgers. I feel like both of these defenses lock in. We don't see a lot of offense Saturday in the big house, and I feel like this is about a 24-20 Michigan game. So I played under 50.5.
So that score holds, then Washington would cover the spread of 5.5. Do you like Washington to
Yes.
cover?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think if any team is getting some serious disrespect by the polls, which don't matter, by the way. I know we get all up in arms about rankings and whatnot. None of these matter until after next week. But as I've said on other podcasts with other folks, the AP poll influences some of the CFP committee's decision. So the fact that we're at week 8, Washington is sitting here at 5-1 and isn't ranked is it's kind of head scratching, to be honest. I wasn't real big on them. I've kind of warmed up to them. Staying away from this one. This is all you, Josh. But I do like the play because I do feel like it's going to be points at a premium. Probably coming down to a field goal type game because Michigan's not going to run away with it at all. If anything happens, Washington is more likely to do that, but they're not as consistent. They're not consistent enough for me to back them. I might, for fun, sprinkle maybe a little Starbucks money on a money line bet on Washington, but that'd be about it. I won't put any serious bankroll money on this game. I do like the under. Don't know if I'll get there with it.
Right.
And what was the number? 50.5?
Yeah. 50.5, yeah.
50 and a hook. I kind of like your score prediction too.
Yeah.
Make a note of that. If you get this right,
okay.
I'll send you a prize.
Okay.
So Josh is 24-20 Michigan over Washington, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you hit that, I'll send you a little lunch money because that'd be a pretty impressive call. All right, I'm going to stay in the Big 63 or however many teams they got now, and I'm going to look at the Purdue Northwestern game. Now, for many basketball reasons, Purdue's it's a no-fly zone for me. We've had more than our share of issues with Purdue in football and basketball over the years. So this one kind of falls into that Vanderbilt, Florida, dirty word, wash my mouth out with soap, get a tetanus shot, that kind of thing. But Barry Odom's got these boys playing some pretty good ball. And I'm just going to be quite honest. I think people are putting way too much stock in Northwestern because of that win against Penn State. I don't see Northwestern winning this game. Bit of an emotional letdown spot. And, I mean, let's be honest, Vanderbilt North they're just not that good at football, period. Those days are gone. Give me Purdue +3. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line with Purdue, and I'm also pulling Purdue into a 7-point teaser to get that number to +10. So that would be, 2 scores, touchdown, and field goal. And I don't see Northwestern beating these boys by 10 points. So I'm gonna roll the dice on an arch enemy. Take Purdue +3. All right, Josh, what else you got?
All right, we are going to Texas Tech and Arizona State. So Sam Levitt back this week for the Sun Devils. He's probable on the injury report. I'm back in Arizona State +7.5. I feel like this is a really good spot after getting blown out by Utah at Utah, and they get a Texas Tech team that has been really damn good this season. But Arizona State at home, I love home dogs, catching 7.5. So give me Arizona State plus the 7.5.
I love Texas Tech, man.
Yeah.
Luce and I, more so Luce, I got on board with it. But I really like them too. We both bet them to win the Big 12 preseason. And I think it was like plus 550 or something. It was pretty decent chunk, and they're proving to be every bit of it. They are a cover machine. They can absolutely decimate you with the run game. The defense can be smothering. And I'm not sold on Sam Levitt, period, but I'm not sold on him being 100% coming back in this game. He very well could be, but any former player will tell you they'll say whatever they got to say to get back on the field. So I know more than a touchdown's a little bit scary. I think I wrote down the wrong number, so bear with me. Let me jump over here.
Okay.
Make sure I read this right. Got my bet slip pulled up. And all right. Well, this line has come down. I've got on a 6 to 6. Let me look. How many points? I think it's a 6 point. It's a problem when you got 14 tickets in already. You got to do some ciphering. Yeah, it is a 6 point teaser. I have Texas Tech -3. And I feel like that's what happens. I feel like at the absolute worst case scenario, Texas Tech wins this game by a field goal. So maybe we're both right. And I'll be okay with that because I like when everybody wins. But, yeah, no official play on the side or the total, but I do have Texas Tech -3 in a parlay. In a teaser. You probably could buy this down and put it with a more traditional parlay at like 3.5 if you're so inclined. But I like to get it. If I can get these things to one score, be it 3 points or 7 points on what I think is going to be a closer game, I'm okay with that. If it's something that I just feel like is too many points, then I will crank it up. But I'm comfortable playing Texas Tech by a field goal in that one. So, but you like Arizona State plus the 7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, my last official play. I can't believe I'm doing this one either. I'm going to go ahead and throw a caveat and a disclaimer out there that I think this is more of a pity pick for my buddy Rando from the Heavy Poor Sports podcast, which they have graciously made me a part of on Thursday nights. So be sure and check that out. Follow those guys. They are hilarious. And Kentucky Sass is on there with us most of the time as well, and she's great. My buddy T-Step, of course, everybody should know is a Vol fan. So you got two Vol fans, you got two Wildcat fans, and it gets real entertaining. So I fully encourage everybody to follow them, watch along. It's a good time. That being said, Arch Manning and the Austin Steers are making their way north to play the Kentucky Wildcats. I don't know if there's any bonus fuel points on Saturday or not, but they're going to play at Krog. God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm taking Kentucky plus 13.5, Josh. I feel terrified.
Oh, wow. You gotta hope you gotta hold your nose while doing that, Hammer.
I feel like this is I seriously feel like I'm playing a pity bet for Rando here. This is the first time I've backed Kentucky all year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, my God, I bet I said Tulsa earlier. It wasn't Tulsa. It was Toledo.
Toledo, yeah.
The first game of the year, and I took Toledo plus 8. They barely beat Toledo, but they did give Ole Miss a pretty good game in Lexington. And I don't know if this is as much of a confidence in Kentucky and Mark Stoops trying to coach for his life, as much as it's I just don't believe in Arch and I don't believe in Texas. Now, they did put on a pretty good show against Oklahoma this past week, but let's be honest, Mateer struggled mightily in that game. If he was 100% healthy, I think we all would have expected a different outcome. Hats off to the kid for trying to gut it out, but he just wasn't ready. And clearly, Texas was able to find a little bit of continuity and get some offense going. But Kentucky's defense can cause some problems, and Arch doesn't handle problems well. So I think Kentucky can probably keep this game ugly enough, kind of keep the scoring limited. Maybe they can pull off 2 touchdowns. So that's a light play, like a quarter to a half unit play for me. Kentucky plus 13.5, and I did pull them into a teaser at plus 19.5. So Texas, if you can beat Kentucky in Lexington by 3 touchdowns, and hats off to you. I'm just flat wrong on this one, but I know hope, Josh, is not a plan, but I'm going to try to have a little hope and a little faith that Mark Stoops can work some home field magic and send the Longhorns home stressed. Keep this game close.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the game of the hour, is there anything else you want to touch on, talk about?
Yeah, I got one more big play. Okay. So we're going to South Bend, Indiana, USC, Notre Dame, same time as Tennessee and Alabama, our game. So,
well, it's a shame nobody's going to watch the Notre Dame South Carolina Freudian slip.
yeah,
Southern Cal game, then, isn't it?
Southern Cal. Yeah. So I know if Notre Dame loses this game, they're out of the playoffs, obviously. So
have to be. There's no way they can stay in with 3 losses.
I have 3 plays in this game.
Oh, crap.
My dog of the week is USC. I'm taking USC plus 9.5. I got 3 units on that. I'm taking USC money line plus 250. Got half a unit on that. And the last play, USC team total over 24.5. I have 4 units on that as well. I just don't see in any world where Notre Dame shuts down USC completely in this game. I feel like Jaden Maeva has a really good game in South Bend. Jacoby Lane, Malachi Lemon. And I feel like this is a back and forth game. And I feel like there's going to be a bunch of points scored in this game. So give me USC over 24.5, USC money line, and USC plus 9.5.
All right. right, so let's do some math here. So if USC's team total is at 24.5, where do they
Yes.
have Notre Dame's team total? I am looking that up. If you
Their team
know,
total is 36.5.
woo! Down to 35.5 on FanDuel. And USC is at 25.5.
I would say Notre Dame's team total is this high is because USC's defense flat out sucks, but I feel like USC gets some stops in this game, and I feel like this game is much closer than people expected.
Well, and here's another reason that I kind of like where you're going with this, and I wonder, should we consider the total in this game? Because let's rewind a few weeks back to when Texas A&M tangled with Notre Dame,
Yeah,
and that was a game that I was hammering the over
yeah.
in. And I think the line was somewhere around 61 or 62, and we had 81 points
Wow.
scored in that game with Texas A&M coming out on top 41-40. I could see something similar happening in this game as well. 24.5 seems kind of low to me for
Yeah, it
USC
does.
because if you've not been paying attention to Notre Dame's defense this year, this ain't last year or year before's Notre Dame defense. This is not a typical Marcus Freeman defense that we're seeing from Notre Dame. So,
Yeah.
You got me interested now in this one. I'm also interested in the total. And just to throw a stupid number out there to you, let me work this up real quick. And folks, I understand not everybody has access to the same betting strategies and whatnot. My book, which is classified, offers, as I said, 3 and 4 team teasers. They offer 16, up to 16 teasers that you can, very flexible. But regardless, if the book you use doesn't offer an official teaser, just use alt totals, use alt spreads. You can make it pretty much do whatever you want to do with it. So for me, if I'm looking at a 3-team 10-point teaser, so what that does is it takes your underdog and adds 10 points to their line. I can get Notre Dame, USC. I can get USC plus 19.5, and I can get this total to 52. I think I like that, Josh. I think I like both those plays.
On mine, I got plus 15.5 and over 55.5. You like that one?
I like that too. I'm having trouble believing Notre Dame can score enough points, which they can score. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Carr is turned out to be really good, and we all know Jeremiah Love's just tremendous. So they can definitely score, but so can this USC team. They've got a couple NFL caliber receivers, and Maeva's proven he can play. He can play with big boys. So yeah, I think I'm including that. You brought it tonight, man. So
And
I'm
I
going to do
feel
USC
like,
at plus 19.5, and I'm
yeah.
going to take USC Notre Dame over 52. And I think that total is going to get bet up, honestly. That also would put the under would be 72, but I'm going to be honest, man.
Right.
Notre Dame and A&M put 80 on the board. I don't know if I'm even confident betting under 72 in this one. There could legit this game could
Yeah,
get in the high 30s from both of them.
it could.
So yeah, I like that. That one kind of skipped by me because I saw the 9.5 for Notre Dame, and it's a little fishy to me, to be honest. I think I like USC on that plus
Do you
9.5,
feel
just
like
like it
yeah?
is.
Do you feel like if Jaden Maeva goes in the South Bend, gets a upset win and passes for about high 280, 290, or 300 yards, do you think he might be in the top 5 Heisman discussion?
I think it would be wrong to not include him.
Because I
Very
played
much so.
I played him to win the Heisman at 45-1 before the season started.
I don't think that's a bad play at all, especially at those odds.
Yeah,
That's pretty strong because you look at their. Well, let's just do a quick run through. So they obliterated Georgia Southern to open. Then they almost doubled up Purdue. Hammered Michigan State, although they did allow Michigan State to score 31 points in that game, and that does not look good. Fast forward a month later.
yeah,
They lost,
right.
of course, that heartbreaker to Illinois.
But he
The
had a great
overcash.
game in that game.
He had a phenomenal
Yeah,
game, and the overcashed in that one. Uh, then they
they
handled
beat
their
Michigan.
business pretty good against Michigan. 31-13, man. That's no joke because I mean this Michigan defense is still pretty good. It's not the high-powered offense that we've grown accustomed to seeing over the past several years, but the defense is still pretty good, and they.
Yeah,
And when you look at the remaining schedule, Nebraska's a fraud. Nebraska's ranked and Washington isn't. Sorry, don't like it.
yeah.
Then they get
Don't.
Northwestern at
Yeah,
home. Iowa's going to be tricky, and then of course they have the trip
at Oregon.
up to Oregon, and I don't know that Oregon's going to be, quote, fighting for their playoff spot or anything, but one, it's never easy to
Right.
go up there and win, and two, you better believe Oregon's going to be up for that game because especially if USC keeps winning, they're going to move. They're going to move on up in the ranking as well. And then the
Then
end of
they
the season,
get the
UCLA will
volleyball
come
player
in
last
to
game.
get their yearly ass whipping. Volleyball player can go out on a good note to whichever junior college he's transferring to. Although I will give him his due.
Yeah,
I wrote him to two upset money line bets, so I can't hate on him too much. Big Nick's still a clown. I can clown on him all day long.
but if I was him, I would stay at UCLA next season.
I think it's his best move, and I know it's probably not what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, we've heard 1,000 reasons as to why he left, and basically all of them have been disproven, except for the obvious, which was they overplayed their hand and tried to go get a bag somewhere else. And
right.
he was asking for lobster. He ended up with bologna. But
Yeah,
you've moved both the boys from Tennessee and Arkansas respectively.
yeah,
There's no way. I just don't think there's any way if he entered the draft, he's any better than a day 3 draft pick, and that's not what they want. So
right.
I think you're right. I mean, he's well entrenched as the starter. As poorly as they played to start the season, I think it's pretty safe to say that Deshaun Foster was more of the issue there than the players because now that he's
Yeah,
gone, this team's rallied. They've
they
won a couple
have.
big games, and I mean, I don't hate the kid. I hate what happened.
Right.
I think his dad is an idiot and a clown.
Yeah,
But I'm never going to hope for somebody's demise. If he can play good enough and get an opportunity to go, live out his dream, God bless him, go for it. It's fine. I get nothing out of it either way. So do the right thing and wish somebody well. But I agree with you. I don't think another move will serve him well. So whatever the NIL looks like, and maybe you can get a little bump or something to help ease the taxes in California.
Yeah.
Man, don't go anywhere. Don't go chasing the money, because if you take care of business, the money will be there. The money will come.
It will.
So, and you've got your brother there now too. So just stop, Nick. Just stop.
Yeah, Nick.
So anyway, but yeah, good call out on USC.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I guess before we get to it, let me just throw out a few more of the parlay and teaser pieces that I'm using this week. I mentioned before LSU Vandy under 55. I like Texas Tech -3 or whatever magic number you can put together. I do like the Mississippi State Florida game under as is, but as a little bit of a safety net, I'm pulling that into a teaser at under 57.5. I do like South Florida -15.5 on a teaser. Let me look, because some of these I jotted down early in the week, and it's very possible the line has moved. I didn't dig into some of my deeper stats and rankings and stuff like that, but I did put down what I was going to play based on what I was seeing early, because I like to get in on these early. More times than not, that pays off. I'm having trouble finding, Josh, I don't know if you're looking, trying to find South Florida. Oh, Jack State's up 34-6, man. They just scored.
Nice.
Not what I'm looking for. Sorry, had a ooh shiny. Plus, I'm just pissed about last night. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not one to get real emotional either way, but that just pissed me off. It's not even about the money. It's a little bit about the money. But it's really more about just – and I don't feel like I misread it, but that's sitting here today, it's all I can say. Just misreading the game that badly, none of it makes sense. I'm trying to find South Florida. Florida Atlantic. It gets 21.5 is the spread. And keep in mind, this same Florida Atlantic team is the one that hung 60 on FIU. Total in this game is 73.5, and it's a little heavy juice on, not heavy, but a little juice on the over. I think South Florida just absolutely destroys them. I don't know. I think South Florida can pick their score. They certainly did last week against North Texas. Man, was I wrong on that one too. Good call on your part, Josh. I'm going to start – anytime I'm on the wrong side of you and loose, I'm going to wait till the game starts and I'm live betting whatever y'all pick, because I am 0-3 in straight ups against you two. Not doing that no more.
Oh, wow.
It ain't funny. Ain't nobody laughing. Although I was right on the Georgia. Sorry. I did have Georgia -3.5.
Yeah.
And you had Auburn +3.5. But I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm not even counting that, because that horse shit that went down in Auburn last week, that was absolute blatant. We got to protect our big dog, because for whatever reason the league must think that
they should have went up 17-0. Yeah.
If Auburn
got to protect her
game, I mean, man, could you imagine what Georgia people would be saying at the half if they were down 17 to Auburn? But I needed this game because I have Auburn. I have Auburn under 7.5.
I'm glad you won that game.
I needed it. So blind squirrel found a nut last week with Georgia -3.5. I don't like how it went down. I'd felt better about losing that bet and Auburn winning that game, but here we are. So Anyway, I got off on a tangent, y'all. Sorry. Josh talked about the USC numbers. USF minus 15.5. That's how we took the rabbit trail there. I mentioned Georgia Tech plus 16. I've got Indiana in a teaser at minus 13. And just because I love y'all and I just felt like it, a few in the NFL I like. I do have the Panthers plus 13, and I have Seattle plus 10. Both of those on teaser plays. And for tomorrow night, I do have the Bengals in both a plus 12.5 as it sits, and I also like them at plus 18.5. Flacco came in, pretty much learned the playbook in a few days over, a breakfast buffet and a nightcap, and went out and held his own against Green Bay. They only got one sack, which was encouraging for this offensive line because they're about to face one of the best pass rushing defenses in the NFL Thursday night in Pittsburgh. But also, Pittsburgh has trouble stopping the run, and they've shown that they can give up some plays in the passing game if they can protect the quarterback. But therein lies the problem. This offensive line is 28th in the NFL in run block win rate. Chase Brown has not had a very good season if you're a fantasy player or daily fantasy player and have felt the sting of that. And then in pass block win rate, I think they're either 26th or 28th. Forgive me, I can't remember off the top of my head. But offensive line's bad. They played better last week, but, Joe Flacco is basically a statue back there. He's not going to, rush around and extend plays. It's going to be drop back, find somebody to throw it to, and let it rip. So I like Flacco's passing attempts in that game. I like Jamar Chase's receptions and yards in that game. I think Noah Fant could be in for a big game with Gesicki being out. So I kind of like Cincinnati. It's not going to be very much love for me in my bankroll for the Bengals this year, at least not till the other Joe comes back. But I do like them in this spot. I think there's a chance they I'm not going to say win, but I think they can keep this game pretty close, and they could be in this thing late, Josh. So we'll see. But I think the offense definitely gets an uptick because, Jake Browning's been there three damn years, and he couldn't figure it out. Joe Flacco's there 3 days, and, he's cooking. So
he is.
Battle of the geriatrics. They both got a foot in the grave, but we'll see how it goes. I just think Flacco's in a good spot. So, all right. Well, that's pretty much everything. So it's time to come to the game of the hour. We have in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the Fighting Elephants taking on the Mighty Vols. Josh, tell me about this game. If you're going to play it, what you would do with it.
Well, don't have a play in this game, but if I do had to take something, slight lean, I would lean towards Tennessee plus 8.5. I feel like this is too many points for Alabama to be laying at home. I get it. Our defense isn't that good, but I feel like our offense is going to make a lot of plays to stay in this game. And I feel like this is going to be a really high-scoring game. But the key for me is, can Tennessee stop Alabama's run? That is the big question. Alabama doesn't have a really good running game. If they're forced to a lot of passing situations, their cornerbacks are going to have to make some plays. So if I had to lean, I'd play Tennessee plus the 8.5.
All right. I am also sitting this one out. my initial take on this game, and I think I even put it out there in the Twitterverse, so I can't take it back. Coming off the heels of Saturday's thriller, I said I'd take Alabama over their point total, blind bet it. I think a lot has been made of Tennessee's struggles defensively. Now, understand this team is among the nation's leaders in sacks, tackles for loss, turnover margin. They can get after you. But they also get put in some really bad situations. Penalties have put us in worse situations. And we've kind of earned a reputation of being able to be run on. The kid from Arkansas made the statement. Of course, we were told the defense was aware of the comment. I'm sure it went up in the locker room, and all he did was come out there and prove him right. We got a problem stopping the run, and that's with Hobbs back. So to Josh's point, I think we may have a little bit of a fight on our hands with stopping the run, which has now changed how I feel about this game. I think if I were to put American money, which is what I use, on this game, I think I'm looking at maybe the under. I think we might get into a little bit of a rock fight because I think something has to change. Something's got to give with the defense just bleeding yards. And I know a road game in the SEC against one of our bitter rivals where we haven't won since Color TV, it feels like. Maybe a bad spot to predict that that's going to happen, but I think it has to happen if we're going to have any shot in this game. You know, we gave one away to Georgia. That's one of those that we needed to win, right? It was on of all the games on our schedule, we need that one. We need to win in Tuscaloosa, and we need to win at the Swamp in the Chlamydia Bowl. Well, we let Georgia slip through our fingers. And we're probably going to get a pissed-off Oklahoma team coming in here with probably a pretty healthy John Mateer at quarterback. You don't want to say must win week 8, but we kind of need to win this game, y'all. So I think the defense has to answer the call this week. I think they have to figure out a way to limit Bama's efficiency on offense. And I think that's exactly what we got to do, Josh, what you just said. We have to stop them running the ball because Jam Miller is a load.
Yes.
And if we don't, it could be a very, very long game.
Yep.
So if I did anything with this game, I would lean on the under. And I don't know if this game gets to 30 from either team, honestly. That's why I kind of like the 8.5, I think, is definitely in play. Anything more than a touchdown in this game,
right,
regardless of where it's played. I think anything more than a touchdown is risky. So, if you're more of a spread person and you think Tennessee can keep it to one score no matter what happens, that's your play. If you have any belief at all in our defense, and I guess at this point maybe it's wishful thinking or wishful betting, I think something's got to change. I think something had to be done this week in practice, whether it was scheme, whether it was with player, personnel, packages, whatever. Something had to change this week. And quite frankly, and as he should be, Tim Banks coaching for his job. At least, by God, that's what it ought to be. Luce messaged me and said if Banks were to leave for whatever reason, that Danny White better be on a plane headed to Memphis, Tennessee, and grabbing their defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
I agree with that.
I'm not sitting here saying fire Tim Banks. I went on some. If you follow me at all on Twitter, then you probably saw me steaming Saturday at what I was seeing. But fire Tim Banks never came out of my mouth. It never went on my screen. I'm not advocating to fire Tim Banks. I want Tim Banks to earn his damn paycheck and do his damn job.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying let's fire Tim Banks because, if we had somebody that could do any better motivating or coaching this defense, so they're already on the staff, and when the hell it didn't happen. So, Tim, just fix it. Okay, just fix it. Quit playing 10 yards deep when the other team is at 3rd and 6. Former safety here, I can tell you that shit don't work.
No, it don't.
So something happened, Josh. We have to believe that. We have to believe our defense is coming into this game better prepared than they were last week against Arkansas. And while I don't believe Ty Simpson is as dynamic as Taylor Green, he is athletic. He can move the pocket. He can scramble. Yeah. So I feel like it's a similar challenge. And not a lot of difference in probably what we'll see offensively from Alabama versus Arkansas. So just got to believe something changed, man. Something got better this week in practice, in the preparation, and we better go down there ready to play because I do not want to bring home a loss of any kind, but I definitely don't want to go down there and get embarrassed because, we have whined and bitched and moaned about being 15 for 3 or 4 weeks. Now we're up to 12. Whoopity-doo. It don't matter till the CFP ranking comes out. But everything we've talked about all year leads up right now to this game. We have to win this game.
Yeah, we do.
So I'll get off my soapbox. Part of that was left over from this past Saturday. My apologies. I entertain myself, so I just assume everybody else loves me too. Anyway, whatever. All right, so a score prediction from you, my friend.
Fortunately, I'm going to have to go Alabama 24, Tennessee 21.
So you didn't believe a damn word I just said, did you?
I do agree with everything you said, but I feel like even if we lose this game, we go 10-2, we're still going to be in the playoffs.
That's right.
I feel like, this game feels to me like a free roll because we're on house money. Nobody expects us to win. And I feel like we're going to keep it close. And if we do keep it close, just roll the dice. Whatever could happen.
All right, fair enough. So before I give you a score prediction, let me ask you this question. Do you think we have a better shot of beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa, or do we have a better shot of beating Florida in the big Chlamydia Bowl?
Florida and Gainesville.
Think so?
Yes.
Billy coaching for that job.
I feel like what I read, Hammer, from Twitter so far this week, I feel like they're going to fire him any week now, is what they've been saying. So let's hope the time we play them, they have an interim coach and they really don't care.
Well, Arkansas had an interim coach too, and that coach bump thing that they talk about, that's legit. That's real.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people that I've talked to and that I listen to, professional bettors or whatever. A lot of people liking the Titans this week at plus 7.5 with Vrabel coming to town. I'm not on board with that. I think they come in and Vrabel gets a little bit of ex-girlfriend got a new boyfriend kind of attitude and shows them what they missed. But the coach bump thing is legit. So we'll see. I just don't think I thought the time they should have fired Callahan last year, right? They shouldn't even have made it to this year.
No.
We knew he was terrible from the jump.
Yes.
But they wait to fire him for Patriots week. Knowing Vrabel's coming back to Nashville with a big old circle on the calendar.
Yeah.
But in what else would we expect from from Amy Adams Strunk? That's just just more stupidity and Lord anyway. But
I'm waiting any day now eventually for her to sell the team.
God, I mean, I know she hasn't done anything. She's done a lot of egregious things and things that probably violate the Geneva Convention, but unfortunately she hasn't done anything immoral that they can, vote on it and get her to sell it like they did Dan Snyder with the Washington franchise. But boy, it'd be nice. I'm afraid if they sell it though, they move it. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. And,
true.
Because I know there's a handful of cities out there that would absolutely love to have an NFL team and would crawl over each other to build a stadium.
What's your final prediction?
Yeah, I was stalling. Sorry. I think we can win this game. Can win this game. If we win, I think it's somewhere in the, 27-24, 28-24 range. If Bama wins, I think it's going to be somewhere in the probably the same. I mean, I think I don't know that either team's going to break 30. If they do it like a 31-27, which would still put it at an under, that would be 58. I just think that's where it's going to. I think that's where it's going to end up. Of course, my heart says Tennessee. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give you a score. I won't give you a side. Is that a cop out? Do I need to pick a winner? Or can I give you a number?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. I think we can win it. If we do, I think it's somewhere in the 27-24 range. If Bama wins it, I think it could be 31-24. We got to win down there, man. We got to break that sometime. We just have to. It's been 20-plus years. We have to win down there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, it will be a long Saturday, my friend, until
it will be
until that game rolls up on the TV screen. But plenty of other stuff to keep us entertained. Hopefully, we threw some stuff out there for everyone that can be beneficial, can be used. If you want or ideas on how to put these parlays or teasers or whatever together, I did post some on the podcast page on Twitter. You're always free to send me messages. A lot of people message me and ask me, hey, what are you doing with this or whatever. I don't mind throwing stuff out there for you. And I'll probably post some of these as well because, unfortunately, I'm that rare occasion that I've got a 911 that I have to work this weekend on a shutdown for a manufacturing plant relocating their network. So I will not be able to be on with Luce, which sucks because I've gone bought a new car, was out sick, Luce forgot, bought another new car last week. I got to work. So it's been like 4 or 5 weeks since we've been able to do a Friday pod. So I'll collect his picks. If I find anything else that I just can't live without, I'll throw that in there as well. And then, Josh, of course, you find something else that you want to share with everyone. You can
I'll
send
message
it to
you.
me. I'll get it posted. Yeah. Absolutely. And, speaking of doing better about our defense, we're going to do better this week. I'm fully confident. Last week
got
was
to.
really wonky, and it was, it was tough to swallow.
Yeah.
Luckily, of all things, as crazy as the NFL season has been, the NFL week actually bailed me out, and kept me cooking. So,
yeah,
hopefully, shook off all the exercised the demons last night with Western Kentucky, and it's just all downhill this weekend. So, well, all right, my friend. As always, it's a pleasure to do this with you.
same
Love
with
our
you as well,
Wednesday.
man.
Love our Wednesday time to talk football and bets and make fun of people at other schools. And we will keep our eyes peeled on anything else that comes up that we just can't live without. Thank you to everyone, that tuned in. Be sure to follow Josh at Joshyboy from Tennessee. Also, give our podcast page a follow. We do post some things on there that maybe we don't talk about here, that it's kind of done behind the scenes or as the week plays out leading up to kickoff times. I'll throw a few parlays that I put together out there, and been known to do a giveaway or two as well. And the only way you get in on any of that stuff is follow the podcast page. So please give that a follow. Give Josh a follow. Give Luce a follow at Loose Bets. He's real simple. Me, just search the Irish Hammer. I'll pop up. Can't miss me. And again, thank you everyone that tuned in. Good luck on your plays. Hope everybody cashes out some big wins, whether you got them from us or not. Josh, my brother, love you.
Love you too.
And we will do this again next week.
Sounds good.